Guys, it never fails. Literally, right after a great weekend with these two, literally, the BS kicks into gear. Now, I just knew that the BS that was going to start, it was going to start literally on Monday, today, and that it would be something, some rumor or some source or something. But of course, who could have seen? Yes, oh, I saw this coming, just not today. That this young lady right here and this young man right here, father and father-in-law, is back on that bull. Yet again, he has given another interview with Good Morning Britain and another final plea. I promise you, he has done about 8 billion final pleas. And has been on his deathbed for 8 billion years. Now, I have spoken in length about this fella and his other two rascal kids. And it amazes me. It amazes me the things that he gets away with. And the only thing I can come up with is that it is honestly, I feel like it is racially, it is a racial component there because he is always made out to be the good parent, the parent who did everything, sacrificed everything, gave everything to his daughter. And Daria is either erased through the mainstream UK media or she is vilified on social media by a bunch of people who accuse her of doing horrible things or being involved in horrible things. And the only difference between the two is their race, which really angers me because Daria, out of anyone in this situation, has been the one who has remained dignified, quiet, and she's only spoken out when she felt it was okay and her daughter was okay with it. She has respected her daughter's wishes, even though I feel like Daria experienced the same amount of things that Thomas has experienced with the media in the beginning. But she has never betrayed her daughter. This man has. So let's react to some of these clips from Good Morning Britain. Susanna, I am so disappointed in you, by the way, but let's get to the clips.
Did you ever see anything in Meghan as she was growing up, before the rift, before she met Harry, which made you think that she was capable of this kind of complete cutting off, that she was capable of doing that?
Right off the bat, let me stop you right there. This is how I know some of these journalists are some of these crazy deranged people who be on social media. That's how I know this, because what he just said right here, that is a completely coded language from them about this whole Meghan just cuts people off and she's a narcissist. That is completely their textbook language, and he's using it on a mainstream media. We haven't even gotten to the fact of the things this man has done and the reasons why she has decided to completely cut him off. This is why I say that the media is completely out of touch with what is really going on in the world. And as we go further into these clips, you will realize how they always give this man softball questions. Always. They do not challenge him. They barely challenge him. Like the bare minimum of challenging. And again, it's not to say that the US media is not on that BS as well, as far as being just flat out corrupt in my opinion. But there's a reason why this man right here never, I mean never, goes on any mainstream U.S. media channels, because either they don't want him, or two, they know he knows that they're not gonna just let him go scot free and without challenge him on some really tough questions. He goes here in the UK because he knows they have a complete agenda against Meghan. There's a complete working agenda against Meghan, and trying to paint her out to be this calculating woman who is evil, who just shuts people, uses people, and shuts people off, and just go about her way. He just used that language on national television in the UK. You can't tell me anymore that there's not some sort of working behind the scenes propaganda against this woman. But let's go ahead.
Meghan lived with me from the sixth grade to high school, and I never saw anything like that with her. And well, also college, we get along fine then too as well. I never saw the kind of woman she turned into. I'm shocked to this date to tell you that, because she's not the person I knew as my daughter.
Do you blame Harry?
This whole thing about Meghan living with him and all of this stuff, another way of erasing Daria. Before I get into the other stuff he was saying, let's just get this one thing straight. I have known kids growing up within my family, friends, who all came from divorced families. And I have always known, I'm not going to say always, it wasn't the case always, but I've known numerous people who one day they'll be with this parent for this amount of days, and the next they'll be with this parent for the next amount of days. And at some points they will live with full-time with one parent, and they will visit the other parent on the weekends, or it would be like this bait and switch. But I could have sworn this man has changed his story numerous times, because before he said Meghan lived with him from the age of like 10 to like 16 or something, but now it's from the 6th grade all the way up to when she went to high school. Which one is it? But regardless, if we're going by what he's saying right now, this is not unheard of. I've known numerous people who've done this type of switching with their parents, especially when they're divorced. They're coming from a divorced family. And let's get one thing straight, sir, about you don't know who she is, and she's never shown you any traits of this when she was young. Again, playing the victim role. And it's not a good look, because one, you embarrassed her before her wedding and took paparazzi photos, and pretty much was part of a ploy to ruin her wedding and her marriage with Harry before it even began. You then went on numerous TV shows literally a month after this whole ploy with the paparazzi photos, pleading your case, and you will continue on from there. And then you made it seem like Meghan never tried to communicate with you, which we come to find out that she did. You even then went on to leak the letter of which the method she has used to try to communicate with you, when you had told us previously that she had not communicated with you. You lied about that. Then when your daughter came out to say that she was suicidal, you went on this same channel and said that you did not think Meghan was suicidal. You think she was exaggerating. What? And then that same letter that you had leaked, Meghan ended up having to go to court for that letter, which caused her a lot of stress, and then allegedly, we don't know for a fact, played a part in her having a miscarriage. Sir. And then you was ready to testify against your own daughter in court about this letter. You're also friends with the Daily Mail journalist Caroline Graham, who is also the same journalist who did this article when you leaked the letter. The same journalist. And also, she's the same journalist who I believe is the puppet master. over there. And she lives, I think, literally right next door to you or something. Why is the UK journalist living close to you, and why are you guys even friends if you are trying to really rebuild a relationship with your daughter? And let's not even talk about the fact that your son was in digital blackface mocking your daughter. Also, your same son who, and you guys can check this video out up here, I did a whole series about the family dynamic of, yeah, check it out. Your son did a whole interview speaking out against you, talking about that you're a cocaine addict. He alluded to you dealing with young women, young girls in Thailand. And now you and your son are just so close because you have a common enemy in Meghan. BS. And let's not forget the fact that the guy that you was doing your YouTube channel with, the guy that you allow to make very disparaging comments about your daughter, also was setting up a whole tour to pretty much stalk Meghan and Harry at their current home in Montecito. You did a YouTube channel with this guy. And why aren't you trying to see your other grandkids? Grandchildren that you haven't even met, apparently. What is so... I get it. You want to see your grandkids. Totally get that. But if you want to see Meghan and Harry's kids, you have 2 other children, and they have children. Some who you have not even met. Really?
You blame Harry for that?
I don't know. I don't know. I blame her or Harry. I think she had influence on Harry more than he does on her. So I blame Harry.
Again, playing into the tropes. Meghan controls Harry. Guys, if you want to watch this full interview, I will put the link in the description at the bottom. But there's really nothing new here to see. This man has went on yet again another interview. Doesn't see what he has to apologize for. So what was the point of this? Other than it was a check and another ploy of the media's. Their machine. They're pushing this old man out to do their bidding for whatever reason. God knows for what reason. I can only come up with so many conspiracy theories, but there's nothing new here to see. This man doesn't even believe feels he needs to apologize for anything. Listen, at the end of the day, I would never fault a person for... setting boundaries and just dissing themselves from friends, even sometimes family. Even though sometimes it's harder to separate yourself from family, we tend to give family members way more passes than probably what we should. But I also won't fault Meghan if she does decide to have some sort of conversation with her father. Despite of my opinions about this person and the situation, at the end of the day, it has nothing to do with me. It's not my business. You know, I would never wish for a separation of a family. I would never wish for disowning of family members. Listen, I root for everybody to come to some sort of, resolution. I mean, other than abuse of any form or some sort of murder or something like to that extreme. I mean, I really can't. My opinion doesn't matter, So whatever Meghan chooses to do, I will support her. But to be honest with you, I don't even think that this man his intentions are well. I believe this man has been compromised, like Meghan said, a long time ago. And when you're friends with a Daily Mail journalist, the same newspaper that she sued, and you will continue communication with this person, and a lot of people believe that she is the mastermind by a lot of what his actions are recently, or these past few years. I can see why Meghan is very, like, no. So, with that, guys, I really don't have much else to say. I have several videos about this person, and you can all check it out up here. It's a sad situation, but it's not unheard of, unfortunately. So, villainizing Meghan for something that millions of people have to go through, billions of people have to go through with family, is not okay. And it's not okay to gaslight her feelings to pretty much have sympathy for this man who has shown numerous times that he's a piece of crap.